Thank you for joining, and thank you for taking the time out of your day. What we're going to be talking about today is Bland AI with MLE Solutions. That's my company. So what we did is we actually set out with the kind of the goal to do enterprise level support for small and medium sized businesses. We've been open since 2021, and we've been doing just that. We've actually recently created some integrations with Bland AI that we'll talk about today, and we'll talk about the software as well. Just so you can see kind of a little bit of a demonstration and use case. So first, what is Bland AI? Bland AI is a platform that automates enterprise phone communications using conversational AI agents. And essentially what that means is it uses an AI to talk on the phone for you. Now, this is, with Bland AI, it's not like those typical robotic calls that you're used to. This sounds like a full, real person on the phone, and unless you know that you're talking to an AI, you're really not going to know the difference. So, some of the key features that you're getting by using Bland is actually the voice customization. There's several voices that sound super human, but one of the things that you get with Bland is actually the ability to clone a voice. So if you have someone like a receptionist that typically will answer the phone for you, you can actually clone her voice just with a 5-minute audio clip and then bring that to AI so she can actually start helping out with the receptionist call. Now, this offers seamless integration. It integrates into Zapier, Make. There's several other integrations that they allow. We actually took the API documentation that Bland.ai offers, and we were able to set that up in make.com, basically to allow you to just have a codeless experience throughout. And if you want to take a knack at automating a process in your business, you can do that now with our integration. If you have any questions about it, just drop it in the comments, and I'll be sure to get you set up with that access. Now, conversational pathways is probably the most revolutionary thing in Bland AI. What the conversational pathways does, it actually allows for essentially for the AI to follow just almost a script, but be able to jump from place to place and even be able to pull from KB articles. I'll show you a little bit of the conversational pathways during the demo. They already have quite a few that are set up for you guys. So if you wanted to get in there, customize your own, you can definitely do that. Now, the next thing is scalability. So as you're scaling, and especially for me as a small business owner, you either have trouble hiring or you have trouble retaining. This right here is going to take care of a lot of the needs for a phone. I mean, this can act as inbound or outbound sales lead setter. I can actually do pitches for you. It can act for scheduling or confirming appointments. I mean, really anything. And with Bland AI, I'm sure that if you understand kind of what it is, you understand that it is a conversational AI that does sound real. You probably have a million ideas that are already popping into your mind about how you can use this for your business. Now, probably my favorite, I was looking through the sales, and the sales is really cool, but where I see kind of an avenue for this, it's in customer service and it's in scheduling. So if you are able to follow up with a phone call, be able to reschedule, live doctor's offices, sales teams, this is taking so much time off your plate, and it gives people more of a personalized experience. Now, as far as the customer support, you can essentially link a KB article. Someone can call in, and for example, with my business, MLE Solutions, we could take care of essentially a first level. So someone calls in, they say, hey, I have this issue. It can guide them through restarting their computer before it's putting on a live tech, saving your business quite a bit of money. Now, we are working on implementing this, but we're going to implement it in a different way just because we like to have that 24/7 live support. Now, again, with that product development, we have done the integrations for make.com. So if you do have any ideas about how you can create an application with this, again, just reach out and we'll help you get set up with that access for that make.com custom application. Now, some of the key advantages, the biggest one's gonna be cost savings. If you think about 200 minutes, that's 60, 120, 240, just under 3 hours of time on the phone. If you're paying someone to do that, even if it's just an entry-level customer service person, you're probably paying them $12 to $15 now, if not even more. And with Bland AI, 200 minutes cost you $20. So you can really see the cost savings right there, especially if you're using this for scheduling, any of the things that we've mentioned before. Now, you have 24/7 availability. Your employees, they have to sleep, or you have to be able to staff that 24/7. This essentially allows for a first layer where people can call in, just talk normally, and they're gonna get maybe a pretty close satisfaction level with it. It's super human-like, right? So whenever we do the demo, you'll actually hear the Bland AI voice, and I mean it's crazy. It's crazy, how amazing it sounds. Now, it's super scalable. Some of the things that you're going to be able to do with Bland AI is, you're actually going to be able to use it and send it to other conversational pathways. So say, your first one that you set up is a receptionist. They can come into the receptionist, and then they can, essentially talk and get routed. Just as a virtual or a auto attendant does, they can do the same thing, but with a conversational tone. Adding a little bit of, I just want to say peace. I know that whenever I get on the phone and I start hearing a robot, I either start immediately clicking 0 to speak to someone, or just start yelling at the phone. And, neither of those is fun for anybody. So, this is going to drastically increase customer satisfaction. Now, there is data-driven insights. We'll actually do a small demo of the analytics. Now, the account that we're using today, it is just the account that we use to set up the integrations. So I want to say there's only a few test calls in there, but I highly encourage you to go in, click the link in the subscription, and try it out for yourself. It's pretty amazing. Now, this is kind of the demo section. In the picture back here, you'll actually see the integration that we created right here. We created, I want to say it has 11 different API calls that it can do, and that's in addition to being able to just make an arbitrary API call. So for example, if we don't have one of the ones that you need, all you need to do is follow the documentation, the API documentation, go down, you can use the API call. It's a little bit of code, but I want to call it more of copy paste than it is code, because it's just really super easy to do. So let's go ahead and get into the demo real quick. So coming in here, we'll actually open up Bland AI. Now, this is just kind of the home screen right here. You can see kind of the last 7 days of calls. Again, this was just a test account, so it's really not a good way to, show off the analytics per se. But one of the things that we can see is right here, the call density. We can actually see where these calls are, primarily coming from. We can map this out across the United States, and then we can actually use this to triangulate your advertising. So it's really amazing, just all of the analytics features that they have. Now, some of the things that you're going to see whenever you come into the analytics: total calls, how many of those are answered, picked up, and received. That's actually input both ways. We'll see if it left any emails. Yes, Bland AI does have the ability to leave emails. You can make it not, and something else that you can do is actually, first phone call that you do for outreach is maybe you don't leave a message, because maybe they see that number and they say, oh, well, I don't recognize it, I'm not going to answer. So you don't leave a message. Second time, you can do a message that time, and really customize it any way that you can imagine. So there is real-time call logs. If you've used like a NetSapiens backend for for VoIP for your business, you're going to have a lot of the same analytics features that you do have, in that background. So anything like if you use GoTo, if you've used any NetSapiens VoIP back, you're going to have just a lot of these same logs. It shows live calls. So if there is a bot on the phone, we can actually come in here. We can see the essentially just the duration, the statistics right there live. Now we can pull call details from every single call. So in addition to them being able to set appointments, they can do line. I mean, it's crazy the amount of stuff they can do. If you have a question about what they can do, just mention it in the comments, and I can definitely go ahead and assist on that. Now, let's see. So the next thing I want to show y'all is the conversational pathways. So the conversational pathways are pretty impressive. So if we go to their showcase right here, we'll actually see that they have quite a few that are just preset. And you can actually click on one of these and go ahead and custom configure it. But something even cooler is they have AI when you're setting this up. So say that you want to create, a unique, a unique bot that's specifically to your business. We can actually come in here and we can say create a pathway. Now, instead of, we can upload a script. So if you already have a call script that you're using, you can go ahead and upload that script. You can start from scratch. But I think one of the coolest features here is probably use case. So if we come in here and we give the bot a description about what we're trying to do, it's going to go ahead and create a pathway for you. So what we can do is we can say something like, you are a customer service bot answering calls for MLE solutions. You need to route them either to support. Of course, whenever I am screen sharing, I can never type. And most of the time I get super nervous, so bear with me. So you either need to send them to support or sales. If it is a telemarketer, let them know we do not accept we do not accept, what do we call that? Telemarketing. Of course, we already put it, right? We do not accept telemarketing, and in the call. And then for this, so you'll need to route them either to support or sales. We're probably gonna have to enter a number there. And then also we'll say, also give them the ability to schedule a callback. So with scheduling the callback, once you take the call details from the call, what we can actually do is, you can say something like, hey, leave a quick message about what you're doing. We can then send this automatically to a ticketing system. And then with that ticketing system, it creates a ticket. We can schedule that callback in the ticket. Pretty much any CRM, any ticketing software that has an API, we can integrate with. So just make sure that if you do have a question like can we integrate or can Bland integrate, I should say, with your CRM, just see if there's API documentation, and if there is, MLE Solutions can get that done for you. So let's go ahead and hit generate, right? And we're gonna see that it's gonna start loading in the conversational pathway that we just now typed in. And it was something very simple. So let's not expect anything like super crazy, right? So automatically it has titled it. It said MLE Solutions Call Routing. Now it's created a pretty, let's say, a pretty easy flowchart diagram for you to follow. Now, if we look on the, the left-hand side, it says route to support. So let the caller know you're transferring them to support department. to assist with their issue. Inform the caller you are transferring them to the sales team who can provide them information. Ask the user for their name, company phone number, and a convenient time, date/time for a callback. Confirm the callback and reject telemarketer. So the reject telemarketer, in my opinion, is probably the best one because I'm not sure about you guys, but I receive 20 to 50 telemarketing calls a day. And if we're able to just reject the calls at the entry point, this adds a lot of value, especially if you think, let's say one call takes 30 seconds of your initial, attention. And then after that initial attention, you still have to get back in the groove. So let's say it takes a minute. That's 47 minutes out of your day if you're receiving 47 spam calls. So definitely a really cool feature. So now let's click in to these nodes, as they call them. Now we'll see, transfer call, route to support. So we'll say route to support. So we'll say prompt with caller. So we'll say, if the caller says they are calling for support, let the caller know you are transferring them to the support department to assist with their issue. Now, their transfer number, this is where you enter the phone number. Now, you do have to enter it with the, the country code at the beginning. So, make sure that you put that country code in, otherwise it's just not gonna work. So we can say, for the phone number, just for the example, and then a warm transfer. So enable warm transfer options to configure how the call is transferred to the live agent. Warm transfers are not available with your account type. They want the higher level of the paid account. I think it's like, I want to say $299, but the free account is free, and you just purchase the minutes, which is something that's pretty cool. You're not paying for like a seat in addition to the time. The second one is loop condition. So we're probably not going to use it for this, but it's like essentially them confirming or trying to send them through the loop. So for example, if you're doing a cold sales call and they say, well, I'd like to schedule for something next week, and I think that blah 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 blah. This right here is going to loop them back through that until it schedules, and just ask and make sure to confirm, make sure it's getting that information. So, describe the condition for when the agent should move to the next node. So we can say, for example, here, turn that on, and then just say, simple condition, greeted the user, more complex examples, so we can say here, ensure that the user asked to speak to support prior to transferring them, or something along the lines of that. Global, there's some advanced options right here. This essentially allows you to just customize how the bot talks to your audience. Now, the dynamic interruption threshold I think is pretty awesome. Like if you're trying to like yell over the robot, you can actually just like come in here and set this to, I can't remember if it's on a 0 to 100 scale, but I can't remember if you need to put 0 or 0 to 1 scale, sorry. I can't remember which the scale is though for no interruptions, but like say that you're calling to do scheduling, you can just set this to no interruptions, and it's going to just give them the, essentially just give them the schedule. It's going to say, hey, you're scheduled for this day, please say that you confirm or don't, and it's just not going to allow them to sit there and try to interrupt. Now, skip user's response. We do not want to do this. We want the user's response. We want that feedback. There's information that we may want to collect while we're on the call, such as emails, phone numbers, details about why they're calling, any of that. And if we skip their response, we're not really going to be able to see, and it's just not going to make much sense whenever they're trying to have the conversation. So block interruptions, of course, disable repeating the node on silence, condition overrides, extract call variables. This is actually what I was mentioning before. So we can come in here and we can see the variables. So this is like a really simple one to do. This is going to be a string, so we can say, email, and then we can say as simple as extract the user's email. So it's going to ask them for the email in this section. Now we can add another variable. We can say phone number, and then we can say, extract the user's phone number. Now, and this is all exput into JSON. JSON format is like the native format for make.com. So we're actually able to take this, the direct response from make.com, or I guess from the API, and then actually use that to follow up on the action. So for example, if we wanted to schedule the callback, we could enter the ticket. If we wanted to, add them to our CRM, if we wanted to, send them a scheduling invite right then and there, we can say, let's see, date, appointment date, and then we could put the format. So like, say that you wanted it in 0101, 90 format, extract the user's appointment. So super easy to pull out the information that you need on the call. Super easy. Now fine tuning, this is going to be for dialogue. Now like this is, for example, say that you have you're trying to say a URL, for example, right? And you put a dot in there. It's probably going to say like MLE, and then blah, 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 blah. So maybe we want to come in here and add a dialogue example. So we could say like, period, expected response, dot, or, something like that. Really just add in here pathway examples. You can give it, conversation history from previous pathways. So that way, if there's already conversation history that's gone through a pathway, you say, hey, I like this. Or if you're doing a transfer from one pathway to another, you can actually load it in here so that whenever the AI goes to the next conversational pathway, it already has the full context of the conversation, and they don't have to begin, kind of re-talking about it. Now, that's pretty much it for that one. Now, if we come to the other ones, this is another route. This is a schedule. So we'll see right here, it's called schedule callback. We'll see that it has probably already put, let's see if it's already put it in there. No, it hasn't. But ask the caller for their name, company phone, and convenient date time for a callback for one of our representatives. You could add additional information here. Now, the entire call, the what's it called? The transcript, it is going to be kept, and it's going to be put into a single line item. One of the things that's really cool with this, and it's only recorded if you want, so it doesn't have to keep it, but in order to get the best kind of analytics out of it, you want to. So it'll actually output the entire transcript to a single line, and then you could use something like ChatGPT to summarize the phone call, and then even go back in and after the phone call, send them a summary, say, hey, I just wanted to thank you for calling in about XYZ, or actually form like live responses to the emails using ChatGPT. So a lot you can do here. Coming down, let me see, is there any questions about the conversational pathways while we're here? I know that this is a pretty cool one. So, if you can't stay for the entire thing, just know that we will be, I will go ahead and cut out some of the beginning and, just put this on here for you guys so y'all can watch it live. Now, what we're gonna do, campaigns and batches, we don't really use this one, but new batch calls, I like to iterate through, but you can actually create batch calls, and we have made this one in our API. So if you wanted to do a batch of calls, essentially this is just going to call, I don't know, I mean, if you wanted to call 100 phones, you could do 100 calls right there. So quite a bit. Let me see. Let's see the other one. So conversational pathways, tools. This is creating for like custom tools. So like if you wanted to have something custom, you can add it right here. Personally, I like to do that on the make side. So, you know, I wouldn't use that here. Events, let's see, phone numbers. So you can purchase phone numbers directly through here. Now, the phone numbers are $15 a month in addition to kind of the hourly, or I guess the minute by minute cost. Now, if we come in here, we can say like a 512, and then we can see that it gives us several 512 formats. You know, coming in here, let's see, 830. We have 830s. I want to say there was no San Antonio ones available last time I checked, which was kind of annoying. So, you know, just make sure, you know, if for some reason they don't have, just reach out to them directly, and, you know, I'm sure they have it, or at least can assist with maybe even porting in a phone number. So here we have the voices. Now, the voices is kind of like the next cool thing that I wanted to show you guys. So if we come to the voices, we'll actually see, let me see, so upload, clone a voice. So we can clone a voice right here. What it recommends is like a 5-minute script. But this is back what I was saying, like if you have a receptionist or a salesperson that they just have like a way of speaking, you know, you can clone their voice and then utilize that same voice, that same way of speaking in your conversational pathways, which is just, I mean, amazing. Imagine having, you know, Amy, your receptionist, and Amy receives phone calls, and now instead of having to her take all the phone calls, if she's busy, we can automatically transfer to a secondary live AI agent. You know, instead of having to hire more receptionists or anything, now you can just put these conversational pathways. Now, I will play a couple of the voices just so y'all can kind of hear a sample. They don't say too much, but we'll go ahead and do that now.
Hey there, this is Blandy. How are you doing today?
This one is Bland Curated, that's French.
Hey there, this is Blandy. How are you doing today?
So, you know, Alexa, and you'll see that there's, you know, inflection in their voice, which is like not something that you really see with the AI voices. So this one's German.
Hey there, this is Blandy. How are you doing today?
You know, we have Nash.
Hey there, this is Blandy. How are you doing today?
You know, June.
Hey there, this is Blandy. How are you doing today?
Darren.
Hey there, this is Blandy. How are you doing today?
And that one's he's very soft spoken. And the last sample we'll do, Josephine doesn't look like she wants to play right now. That's the problem with these AIs. You know, they have a mind of their own. You know, just kidding. They in fact do not. So coming in here, that's the voices. Like I said, the two main points from here are that you can do the voice cloning as well as the upload. Coming into the infrastructure tab again. This is just kind of telling you your limits and stuff. So on the account usage, we'll see that on the free plan, we do have a daily cap of 500 calls. This can take an hourly cap of 100 calls, and I can have 10 concurrent calls. So all at the same time, and that's just default. That's the base plan. So, you know, incredibly inexpensive. They do have these other plans for you. Now we'll see that you know, the next plan up's $299, $499, and then Enterprise. You know, contact them. These are very low cost plans. You know, if you think this one right here, the starter, this is going to be what most small companies need if they're doing, you know, like single roles, either the receptionist, the scheduling, the XYZ. But even stepping up into here, you know, $299 a month for 2,000 calls, you know, that's 200 calls daily, by the way, 400 calls hourly, and, you know, 50 calls at the same time. That's super high volume coming into the $299, you know. So just looking at that, I was actually pretty shocked just by that price. Now, you can integrate with Twilio. One of the cool things about Twilio is that's the texting platform, if y'all aren't familiar with it. So with Twilio, you can actually, for example, be on the call, say, hey, this is, let's say it's an appointment setter or something, and then immediately follow up after you've confirmed their appointment with a text message, in addition to scheduling an email. Now, TCPA protection, this is going to check for blocked call numbers, and it's super annoying to be on these lists and not have and still have people calling you. So make sure that if you do want to do this, or if you're going to use it for like outbound sales or anything where you could be reaching out to people that are on the do not call list, that you check here. Let me see. And then of course the documentation. The documentation is pretty crazy. Oh, and also purchase credit. So this is where I was showing you that their smallest purchase. Well, I want to say you can actually do down to 5. No, you can, yeah, 1 minute. But who's going to want to do 1 minute? So here, $10, 110 minutes, and that's on the base free package with everything that you got. $20, 220 minutes. $50, almost 9 hours of call time. That's pretty crazy. That's a full day. Like if you had someone that's essentially on the phone for 9 hours a day, that's $50 for the entire time. They're not even taking a lunch break. They're working 9 hours and that lunch break. And then, you just pay, there is no monthly fee for this, so it would just be that $50 a day for 9 hours on the phones. Now, coming in, there is something I wanted to show you guys from the PowerPoint.
Bland is probably not a company you've heard of. We've been really quiet this past year, but there's a good chance that the last time you picked up a phone, you were one of the millions of people that spoke to our AI. Today, we're going to introduce you.
Hi, is this Isaiah? I heard you want to show me off in a demo.
Yeah, hey Bland. I hope you're having a great day. I just wanted you to explain to our audience how you work.
I'm having a great day, and yes, Isaiah, I'm an AI agent for enterprises. I can handle millions of phone calls simultaneously day or night and in any language or voice. I can be used for any use case in any industry across sales, operations, and of course, customer support.
That sounds pretty awesome. Can you talk a little bit about what actually makes you special?
To handle conversations in an intelligent and hallucination-proof way. I do this through an invention from our team called conversational pathways. It's the tree of prompts you're seeing on screen right now, and it's how I navigate a conversation.
That sounds pretty amazing. And what kind of integrations does conversational pathways support?
Pretty much anything. I can be connected to a calendar to schedule meetings, update a CRM, and I can even accept payments over the phone. Do you want me to go into more detail?
No, I think that's enough for now. We'll let people talk with you on their own on our website. Thanks, Bland. Have a great day.
Thanks, Isaiah. You have a good day.
So right there, we see that it is very conversational. It sounds almost human. Now, what he was saying about trying it out on their website. So if you did not know, you can actually come to just, bland.ai. And I would, definitely try to click it through my link below. I am an affiliate of Bland. So if you do click on that link, it does help support me and the channel. And that's just by signing up. It doesn't cost you anything extra. In fact, I think they actually may give you something for free when you sign up. So you can actually come here and put in your own number. Again, you do want to start with that country code and then enter your number here. And then you can have it call you and kind of play around, with the conversational AI. Again, if you do sign up for just a free account, they load you up with $2, which is enough to do, pretty much like 20 minutes of phone calls. So if you're on there, it's really enough to be able to try it out. It's very, very fun to play with, I promise you guys.